with that, what recycling technologies are currently being utilized in this industry?
So I think the recycled. So I can take a stand as my company instead of talking about the whole industry. So basically, I personally believe the kind of yarns that we use in our carpets, it's all vegetable dyed. So we don't use any kind of artificial colors. We use natural vegetable dyes that are derived from the plants itself. So we make a actual difference in the environment by doing this. For example, the colors that you see here, the pinks and yellows that we use, it's derived from haldi and sari silk. We don't use any kind of artificial color. So that helps us also and the environment too. Because for us, the colors blend naturally with the yarn, and for the environment too, because we don't use any kind of artificial colors. And for the industry, I believe people are shifting towards more sustainability, but it will take a little time because this is still a evolving industry. So people don't usually get themselves educated about carpentry because this is a very diverse line. It's hand knotted, hand crafted, machine goods. There are many ranges, so it depends on that. So
Okay. So my next question would be that what are the main challenges you face in implementing the recycling process for basically the home textiles?
uh, the main challenges that we face,
Yes.
maybe home specifically to the carpet part, I feel the challenges that we face as an industry are the weavers, because hand knotted is something which is done by the artisans and it's a very detailed and like precise work. So we need to educate and we need to upbring the weavers and artisans who are the actual the backbone of this industry, because I personally feel that that part of the section is dying because the new generation of those artisans and weavers are not coming into this world, so
Right.
they want to get into some different industry or sector. So this hand knotted is specifically becoming a challenge for people because more people are shifting towards machine made. So the artisans and the workers that we use and the people that we have, their population is declining a little bit. So that is a challenge that we may you know mostly face in our industry, and I personally feel we need to educate them more about this, because if we uh, nourish them and take care of these artisans, they only will help them in the new generation for them to come back in the industry. So that is a major challenge for us.
Exactly. And my one last question would be that what role do you expect from the government around recycling and carpets and the covering industry? Any policies you recommend?
So firstly, I genuinely feel like, because carpet industry requires a lot of skilled workers, and these kind of skilled workers you don't usually find in every part of the country. Like you will mostly find these kind of workers in the more of the back, the more outcasted area, the backward areas of India, like in the small towns of UP, in Bihar, in Rajasthan, the old small towns of Rajasthan. So I personally feel the government should bring some kind of policy to implement a kind of a like a, what should I say it, like the government should bring some kind of policy or some kind of benefit to the hand knotted companies, so that we as a company can cater and more push these artisans towards a more employed work, because sometimes many companies they don't really stay in business for long, so they hire these workers on a part-time basis. Like if they have a work, then they will give the project, they'll make the carpet, and then they won't have anything to do the rest of the year. But if I feel the government should bring some kind of policy so that these artisans and these skilled workers they stay in the business for almost every year, and in a loop, so that they also have work. The companies who are making these carpets, they also have the work. At the same time, even the government is making money out of it.
Right.
That is something that we should work on, and the government should work on.
Okay. So, introducing any reforms in the taxation or providing subsidies by them would help.
Maybe I feel subsidy might be a good option, because plus I feel so currently the hand knotted industry has 10% tax on it, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
So maybe something in subsidy or any kind of things to reduce the taxes on that, because I feel, because these kind of carpets export a lot in the US and they have a huge demand there. So something so that even the small companies can bring forward their own craftsmanship, because this is a piece of art for everyone. Not everyone, understands how a cup. For some people, it's just a, math flooring, but for some people, it's an art.
Exactly.
So you need to understand that, to bring these kind of art forms to other countries, there need to be some kind of implementation by the government to promote this kind of pieces around the world. So that is something.
Thank you so much
Thank
sir,
you
for
so
your
much.
time.
Thank you.
Really appreciate that.
Thank you so much.